kind of crazy that we're at the year 5 mark when it comes to the next generation of consoles. And it's funny to see where we've come from the giant tech demos that Unreal was trying to do and showing us what the PlayStation 5 and what next generation was going to be able to look like. It's interesting to see the things that happened in terms of new evolutions of gaming and the things that kind of are not doing so well right now. One of the things that's been disappointing this generation has to be the AAA gaming space. What comes to mind right now is what happened with Mind's Eye is very similar to what's been happening over and over and over again when it comes to AAA gaming. There's a select few of giant companies that are AAA game creators that we can trust fully without having to look at a review or something. Back in the day, you would just pick a game up and hope that it was good. Nowadays, we actually know when a game is bad and to actively avoid it. Mind's Eye essentially defines the 5 year of AAA gaming, of where it was a quick cash grab with Rockstar producers attached to it, who more than likely wanted to make a really good game and had ambitions to do so, but not everybody funds their games like the way Rockstar does with GTA and Red Dead Redemption. Reportedly, GTA 6 is going to cost the company $1 billion, and they're more than happy to invest because they know they're going to get their money back. A lot of people want to blame the pandemic for what happened in gaming, that a lot of games didn't live up to what they should have because of the fact that a lot of games were either postponed, pushed back, or couldn't adapt to the situation, what was going on during the pandemic, and outright got canceled. But since people were playing more games, it led the gaming AAA space to overestimate themselves, which set the entire standard of what we've seen this generation of layoffs after layoffs after layoffs. While there is some bright spots in the AAA gaming world where you can always count on Naughty Dog or Santa Monica to make a good game, or Rockstar, we can always depend on these handful of companies to make really good games, but that left room for the industry to grow even further in the indie game department. While we've had a few generation definers, it's not as much as it used to be in the AAA game space where you had maybe 20 generation definers. I would say this generation of gaming has had maybe 5 or 6 generation definer of games. And that gap created what we're seeing, the rise of indie developers. I used to clown on indie games saying that I'm not going to spend my money on a game that I'm not sure is getting funded properly or looks janky or doesn't look AAA-ish. A lot of these games that are indie games are really fun and really good. First of all, one of the funnest games I've ever played in my entire life is Vampire Survivor, which was one of my top 5 games of last year. Currently, I'm towards the end of Expedition 33, which is one of the most mind-blowing experiences that I've had, and only 90 people were working on it and reportedly didn't have a huge budget. While there have been some executives to sound the alarm when it comes to indie games and trying to tell these companies that smaller games are the way to go, it's not about making your games look cinematic. And I think PlayStation set a standard to the point where everybody wants to look like a PlayStation game. Everybody wants that mystique of what PlayStation has on how they have those HBO type games where that they're going to be good, but they're a certain narrative driven game. And I'm not saying that your games can't be that as indie, but the budget that it takes to make those games, you can use to make 3 or 4 other smaller games that are going to be just as fun and probably sell just as much. And because we're pushing towards games having such a high budget, but it's hard to justify it like in the past because of this inflated budget where you could have 5 or 6 games working, and now it turns into 1 or 2 games because a lot of these companies are greedy and don't want to take a chance. I, for one, am looking forward to the rise of indie games because of the fact that something else this generation happened that is probably my favorite thing ever, and that is that portable consoles are back. Portable consoles are the thing now. PlayStation is reportedly going to make a essentially handheld PS5. We'll talk about that more later. in another video, but the Steam Deck essentially made it a viable thing to actually have portable handhelds be cool and be the new thing, so much so that they scared Microsoft away from making their own handheld and just skin a handheld from Asus and good to go. I don't know why, but I have such a soft spot when it comes to portable devices, especially when PlayStation makes them or when Steam makes them, because you know that they're going to have their entire library on the go. So I am really looking forward to seeing where portable devices go, especially in the indie market. For anyone that's making an indie game, always keep in mind if your game can be on a portable device, because I have a feeling the rise of indie developers is going to lead the rise of portable consoles where we can have affordable gaming on the go. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think that this generation has been good? Do you think it's been bad? What are your favorite games this generation? What are your favorite indie games this generation? We're going to be doing this a couple of videos like a week. So the last week I did the 3 videos where it was like pure editing and all that stuff. I'm still gonna do that, and then whenever there's a huge story I will do that, but at the same time there will be these more blogish videos in order to like give a little bit of content going. So let me know what you think in the comment section of this new format, and remember, you're pretty good.